Harry with the Colorado Springs Chamber and EDC. I am Chief Economic Development Officer here, and we're really excited that you took some time to spend with us today about a new data tool that we have available to you and small businesses and entrepreneurs in the community. It's called SizeUp Colorado Springs, and we're going to run through some demos today, and that's where I really want to spend the bulk of our time. So just in short, the Chamber and EDC, it's our mission to build a strong economy in the Pikes Peak region. And we can't do that without thriving small businesses and entrepreneurs making their dreams a reality in our community. And we also know how important it is to access good data to make strong business decisions, especially for small businesses and entrepreneurs. And it can be really costly in terms of time and money to do this sort of research on your own when you're a startup or a small business. So we identified this need and have provided this solution in terms of SizeUp to get really good data in the hands of businesses to make better decisions. So that's the heart of what this is about. We will have some time for question and answer. So I'll be here excited to talk about how this plugs into other things that we do if there's questions for that. But I really want us to spend the bulk of our time exploring the tool and hearing from Mario Ubalde. He leads the customer success team here at SizeUp. And it's his job to ensure that clients like us and end users like you have the opportunity to use this tool to its full capacity. So Mario, I'm going to turn it over to you. Let's get started.
So again, we can't enter any industry here, as I mentioned. It could be shoe stores. It could be aerospace. It will work across multiple industries, and you don't have to worry about what you call your business. If you're going to be a car dealer, it would also find automobile. So just type in what you would call your business. We'll go ahead and find it, and then we'll select the location that it's going to work at. So here we are on SizeUp Colorado Springs, and we're just going to ask some questions now that most businesses would either know, or if you're an entrepreneur looking to start a business, some ideas about how you might want your business to perform. So from the perspective of a coffee shop, let's go ahead and enter $700,000 and $500,000. And we see that that's actually a pretty good revenue number for an existing coffee shop. You'll see that it's a little bit lower than the average coffee shop in the city of Colorado Springs, which makes $719,000, and a little bit higher than the average coffee shop in El Paso County. The other thing you're going to notice you start to benchmark this is that there's hyper-local information. We can go ahead and zoom in, and we can see detailed neighborhood information on the type of revenue that's happening in businesses throughout the community. So with just one data point, you can already get a sense of how your business, your coffee shop might be performing. And you can also start to look at other things like how that industry in general is performing. So we could go ahead and enter the year 2012 to get a sense of how coffee shops are starting within maybe not the nation or state. We may be interested in more of a local perspective. So you can see there were actually 10 started in the metro area, 13 in the county, and 11 in 2018 for the city. So there's still coffee shops opening up within the metropolitan area, even though you may think that there's lots of coffee shops. This is indicative of an industry that is still robust and growing that people are able to support. So along with that, we can look at the salary. Another key point for most businesses is how much are they paying their employees? What impact does this have on their ability to either retain employees or attract new employees? I think we could agree that $15,000 doesn't seem like a lot of money, but in the context of a coffee shop, this is actually an excellent salary. The average salary for a coffee shop employee in terms of full-time, part-time, salary, hourly, would be about $12,841. Along with how much revenue you have, the overall trends in that industry category, you may also want to see how the number of employees you have or the number of employees you're planning on hiring may affect your overall performance. So I think we can all agree that 16 people is definitely a small business. However, through the lens of data, you can actually see that 16 people is a large coffee shop. Why does this matter? Because if you're going to investors or a bank and trying to get additional capital to expand your business or start it, When you look at it through the lens of data, you see that 16 people is not a small business. It's actually a very large coffee shop. And that can impact the type of investors and capital that you're able to attract. So at this point, we've been asking you for information and then showing the information for how your existing business or your prospective business is competing against the average type of business in your industry. At this point, we're actually going to start to be able to triangulate data and show you additional information, like the cost effectiveness of your business or the revenue per capita, along with detailed heat maps to show you the concentrations of where that's happening. One of the other things that we can talk about is turnover. In a small business, you may think I have 16 employees, and boy, every year I lose about 2 employees. That's 2 more people that I have to either try to hire or retrain in the case of employees moving them around from one function to another. So that might be a little bit frustrating, but when you look at data, you're actually seeing that the average business in this industry would have about an 18% turnover rate. So losing just 2 people per year and having to recruit new people is actually excellent. You'd expect to lose maybe 3, maybe even 4 people in the industry. We can also look at healthcare costs and also workers' compensation. For the purpose of this demonstration, we won't go in depth in every single key performance indicator, but I do want to show you the summary view. So when you click summary view, what you're going to see is a quick dashboard on how your business is performing. Now, I don't want you to take this as green is good and red is bad. That's not what it's indicating. Each business is unique, and we're providing you unique feedback on each one of your key performance indicators. What the colors mean, and are very simple to interpret, is green is more and red is less. As long as you're meeting the use case for your business and your business plan, then these are simply indicators of performance versus averages. The other place this is really valuable is if you're running scenarios, either on expanding your business or possibly opening up another location. So from a quick dashboard level, let's say that you're thinking about perhaps opening a location with fewer employees. You could go ahead and knock this down to the average amount, and then you'll see that that will impact your other KPIs like cost effectiveness and the positive changes there. So that is the first part of the tool set of SizeUp. This is the My Business or the benchmarking tool, and it allows you to compare your existing business or the business that you're thinking about starting with industry averages in your area, your county, your region, and even the state. Let's look at the next tool, which is the competition tool. So now that you see how your business is performing versus others, you may want to understand the more dynamic ecosystem in which you're operating, your competitors, your customers, your suppliers. So right now, we've just mapped all of the businesses that are selling coffee. Now, as you know, you may get coffee from more than just a coffee shop. So we could add in places like diners, or perhaps you also get it from a bakery, where you also pick up your baked goods. So you get the idea. You, as the person running the business, best understand the type of unique businesses that you're competing with, both within your industry and other industries that may also be competitors to you. So you can define that, and then you can look here and click specifically on a list here. On the left-hand side, it will pick up and move the map to show you that specific business, and then you could dive in and do a little bit more research. Or if you prefer to be visual, you can go ahead and then click on a number, and it will pop up information about that business, and then you could click on their website and then find out more about that business. Maybe you want to learn more about why they're successful. The other thing SizeUp can do is you can overlay multiple points of data to understand what's happening in your specific area. So right here, we could look at consumer expenditures. Since we're in coffee, we'll go ahead and go to food and beverages, and we'll look at food away from home, and then finally snacks and non-alcoholic beverages. So what you're seeing here is hyper-local neighborhood-specific data. Areas in the red are making more money and less and more revenue, areas in the orange or yellow. Why does this matter? It gives you the opportunity to go visit some of those places and see how they're performing and maybe what they're doing or what you're doing to be successful. So that's just part of the story that we're trying to tell. So you have competitors, but you also have customers. In this environment that we're in now, a lot of people have switched from business to consumer, and now they may be focused on business to business. Maybe those people can't come into your coffee shops because of restrictions and occupancy limits. But there are still some businesses that can't be working from home. I think specifically for the Colorado Springs area, you could look at aerospace companies because these are top secret. They have to work in secure facilities, or maybe there are specific engineering firms. All right. So we could look at engineering services. Now we've mapped two key components to any successful business, understanding where their competition is, and then also the industries that they are possibly selling to. So as a coffee shop, maybe you were just serving sort of in-location customers. Now you need to provide healthy, safe coffee to places where people no longer are going to be congregating in the kitchen or going out to coffee shops. So now you have listed all of these possible customers, and then you can go ahead and click on them to understand additional information about them to help target the type of value proposition you're going to make as a local coffee shop to supply them coffee and perhaps snacks and things of that nature. Now, whether you're serving customers, whether you're serving businesses, whether it's a $10 super fancy organic latte or a 99-cent cup of coffee, all businesses need supplies. So we can go ahead and click on the suppliers tab, and we'll go ahead and list restaurant equipment and supply wholesale. So now what you're looking at, if we zoom in, are all of the businesses that can supply you your cups, your napkins. Why does this become so important? In the new environment in which we're working, you may not be able to just order your napkins or plates or cups from an online retailer for distribution. Local sourcing is becoming more and more prevalent. This allows you to identify the various companies that can supply you what you need in your area. So this is the second tool of SizeUp, which allows you to understand the larger ecosystem around the larger ecosystem in which your business is operating. So now we're going to target the third tool for SizeUp, and this is the advertising tool, but it's actually more than this. As you know, in today's environment, the idea of kind of like mass media doesn't quite exist in advertising or marketing the way it used to. With the power of online advertising, you can target very specific customers, and you can reach out to them almost on a one-to-one basis through Facebook ads or Apple ads or Google AdWords. So if I were running a coffee shop in the Colorado Springs area, I might just want to look at the zip codes with the highest revenue for coffee shops. And we can look at it right here. And with the filters, we can even say, hey, I think my market's a little bit larger. Maybe it's 20 miles. So this is the standard way that businesses may look at things. Show me where I can make the most money. But the advertising tool is more powerful than that because you're actually able to dive down and focus on the type of business that you want to run. Maybe you're actually looking at underserved markets. So we could go ahead and click that drop down, and we could look at specific demographics or characteristics that matter to us. So one of the things I found out by talking to people in the coffee industry is that if you were running maybe a higher end specialty coffee, third wave coffee shop, you'd think that maybe household income or household expenditures would best represent what's happening there. It turns out that education is the best indicator as to whether or not someone's going to invest a little bit more on that cup of coffee. So we can customize the information to your business's unique market. So we could go ahead and pop this up to bachelor's degrees of at least say 25%. And maybe we do care about household expenditures or household income. So we can bump that up to say 50,000. And what you'll see is the map will dynamically update and you get new zip codes matching the very specific filters that you have listed here. Why does this matter? You can take this information and you can plug this directly into advertising engines and target those customers online. Maybe there's bus signs or billboards or neighborhood papers. All of those things can now be targeted to the exact zip code that you're most interested in. And you can sort, of course, by zip code or by revenue per capita and create that marketing list to optimize the dollar that you spend on your marketing. So these are the three major tools for SizeUp Colorado Springs. I'm really excited that I had an opportunity to give you a quick overview. As I mentioned, they can be used in any category and in any location throughout the region, but we wanted to take you through one single example of how it can work and then open up the rest of this time for you to answer your questions and to take a deeper dive into the features and the categories that matter. So thank you so much for your time, and we'll go ahead and open this up to questions. You'll see that there's a Q&A box and then also chat, and we're happy to answer them at this time.
All right, as we get folks maybe warmed up thinking about what questions they might have, I just want to talk a little bit about access. We're going to put the link again here in the chat feature so that folks have it, but it is available 24/7 from the Colorado Springs Chamber and EDC website. And there's a couple different ways to get there, but we'll make sure you have the direct link. We'll also be sharing and promoting this tool with service providers in the region. So that maybe perhaps you're connected with a partner like the Small Business Development Center, or you have a mentor through SCORE. We want those sorts of partners to be able to point you in the direction of the tool as well. So there'll be lots of different ways to find the tool in the months to come, but it's really important that we emphasize that access is available 24/7. There's no membership fee or anything like that. It's a tool that we're making available to anybody who wants to better understand the market and insights here in El Paso County. So just keep that in mind in terms of how you access it. And we also encourage the tool to be shared across your networks as well. Assuming that we've got some small businesses and entrepreneurs on the call, we know that you have your own network of peers and support system. And we would love for you to share this tool as well, because the more folks that have access to this data, the better business decisions we'll see this cohort make, and the better our economy will be.
So we do have a question about exporting these reports. So if you're preparing a business plan or you're looking to get financing, the easy way to do this, and it's fairly similar on a PC as it is on a Mac, you can actually print directly to a PDF. So you just select print, and then of course, instead of actually printing to the computer on a PC, on a Mac, it's open PDF and preview. But you can do this on PC as well. Also, it's called the snipping tool in Microsoft. And a screenshot, I believe, is the term that they use for Macs. So all of this information can easily be exported to whatever format that you need. You can actually, if you click here on the tab, you can go ahead and select this and then paste into Excel if you're trying to run that type of analysis. The other benefit of SizeUp is if you can't access this on your desktop, it is a fully responsive design. So you can access this on your phone and it will optimize the output for the device that you're using. So you can use this anytime on any device. That was one of the questions. Are there any others? Well, we know that you are all very busy running your businesses, and so we certainly want to respect your time. We'll hang out for a few more minutes to answer any other additional questions. Cecilia's put the link into the chat so everyone can link directly to the application and bookmark that and come back. One of the things that I should mention is this information is updated quarterly. So this is not something where you can just come here, get the information, and then you're done. If you want to see how you're performing or how your performance has changed as your revenue numbers change, and of course the revenue numbers of your customers or the size of the businesses, you can always come back here every 3 months to get updated analysis on how your business is performing, as well as identifying perhaps new businesses that have started in your industry, or perhaps new opportunities for you to sell to or to purchase from. So please do visit frequently. and always look for the updated information that can help you make optimal business decisions.
Mario, thank you so much for spending time with us today. One last reminder for participants, we did share the links to the actual tool, and then an FAQ document that we will monitor and keep updated as we roll out the tool. And we are here to help. The tool is very user-friendly, so we want folks to be able to run their own reports, but we're here to troubleshoot, point you in the right direction, share tutorials and resources. So please reach out to our team. Our email address is info@cscedc.com, and that will get you to the right folks that can help you sort out any questions you might have related to this tool or our other services that support small businesses and entrepreneurs.